Hello, my name is Christian Rodriguez. I'm a junior at Our Lady of the Lake University, and my major is kinesiology. For this behavioral project part 2, we have figured out our healthy lifestyle with the help of several amounts of tests showing how good our fitness and endurance will be, with also testing our flexibility. With these assessments, it helps us test our 5 components of health-related fitness that we have been learning this semester. Our 5 components of our fitness are body composition, muscular strength, flexibility, muscular endurance, and cardiorespiratory endurance. These health-related components are important to us because within these tests we have been doing on ourselves, they help to show where we stand with our healthy lifestyle, showing us if we are healthy or not. These help because while doing it on the paper, it shows us a guide to tell us if we are going towards our goal or if we're going away from our goal. And it also shows us how we can have a better health fitness to show if we need to get out more and be more physical. With doing all these tests, I personally feel that I learned some stuff from my body, like with how much fat I have on my body, my flexibility, if it's good or bad, or to show if I'm overweight or not. By doing these tests over the semester, it showed me what I can improve on and do better with my health lifestyle. My first test, we start off with the cardiovascular endurance, which will tell us if we are excellent, good, need work, or bad. For this, we head to the gym to perform the YMCA test, a 3-minute step test performed by alternating our steps going up and down on a 12-inch step with the beat set up and also a stopwatch. And the beat was a metronome, and in all, this was performed for 3 minutes, and as the stopwatch stopped, we had to immediately sit and remain still to find our heart rate. Within the 5 seconds we have, our heart rate was being counted for every minute, which led to my score being 72 and put me in the excellent category. Our next assignment was to perform the standard push-up test to see our muscular strength, and this was done by getting into the push-up position, which is on the ground with your hands and toes going up and down. And as we did the push-ups, I had did them till I could not feel them anymore, which led me to complete 45 push-ups, which put me in the good category for my age. As going on the next one, which was a curl-up test for the muscular endurance for the upper body, which is done by a metronome being set to 50 beats per minute and our backs being flat on the ground with our knees being at an A angle with our feet on the floor. This was recorded by lifting our shoulder blades off the mat going up and down to our kneecaps along with the metronome beat. As I finished, I recorded my score at 55, which put me in the category of good. To continue the test, the next one was a squat test to find our muscular endurance for our lower body, which was done by standing in front of a chair or a bench, which I had did the bench, with my feet at shoulders width, facing from it with my hands on my hips while squatting down till my bottom slightly touches the bench before standing back up. And I did this till I started to feel a slight burn, which put me at a score of 50, which put me in the category of excellent. As we moved on from the cardiovascular endurance assessment, we moved on to the flexibility assessment, which started with the sit and reach test, which I performed by sitting on the floor with my shoes off, legs fully extended and 4 feet apart, with also my heels touching against the end of the board, with my arms extended on top of each other, reaching as far as I can on the box with my fingertips to see where I land on the scale. As I recorded the test 4 times, holding for 1 or 2 seconds, my first trial was 19.25, second trial 18.5, third trial 20.5, my final trial being at 21.5 inches, which having to see my last trial being my best score at 21.5, putting my fitness score at 90, which put me in the well above average category. As we moved on to the next assessment being the back scratch assessment, which is done by raising one arm and bending the elbow to reach as far as you can across your back, with the other arm extended down and up behind the back trying to cross your fingers. As I performed this test with my right arm, first being at +2 +2, my left arm being -12, -12. Completing this put me at an average of -5, which also gave me a percentile rank at 50. We then have moved on to the body composition assessment, which first was the BMI, which is the ratio of your height in kilograms over your weight in meters per squared. My height being 175.26 centimeters and my weight is 175 pounds. My BMI is 23.5 kilograms squared. My classification is normal range based on the chart given on the paper. After finishing the BMI, we moved on to our waist to hip ratio, which means we have to take our waist circumference measurement, which was we wrapped a tape measure around the narrowest part of our stomach, just above the belly button to position correctly, which when I did that, my waist measurement was 35 inches. Also following our hip measurement, which also wrapped around the tape at the widest part of our hips and buttocks, which ended up leaving me at 40 inches. With having to find our waist to hip ratio, taking those two numbers and dividing our waist by our hip measurement to get the total, which left me to get 0.87, which classified me as good. As I finished all the assessment, in my honest opinion, I agree with the assessments because most of the categories I got placed in were good and shows that I am mainly physically active, which makes sense because I'm a college athlete. Now, for humanity, I do feel that these could be used to make us people healthier, because of how it shows our categories and with it being right most of the time. It could change some people's life by making them realize that they need to have like a healthy lifestyle. I feel that if people were to do these assessments, that it would for sure change their perspective on how they live, on what they eat, and about how much physical activity that they need to do for sure. With all this, going on to my SMART goal, which was to train and work hard to get where I want to be the greatest of all time. Because you can't get somewhere without putting the work you need to put in, because nothing just comes as a handout to get you where you want to be. It always takes hard work and multiple times to train to get where you want. And every day I push myself and pray to tell myself that I train to be the best no matter what it takes. Overall, I agree with these assessment outcomes because it showed everything right where I seem to be with all of them, and I do believe that many people would want to make changes if they were to do these assessments.